you want to implement? What do you want to bring in? What do you want to implement with this new moon energy? You know what? And I've been there, Trina. It's just, you just start. Start one thing different from what you do on your daily. What is one thing that you can do differently today than you did yesterday? What is one thing that you can change today to start to build some type of path, to start to get to some other place? This is where you do. This is where you start. You just start. One thing. That's what I'm going to challenge you, Trina. One thing. Do one thing differently than what you normally do every day. What is one thing you can implement? It's not too hard that you're going to like, oh my God, this is too much. What's one thing, something easy that you can start to implement? All right, Angie, let's get this general. Because at some point we got to say enough is enough. And then after we said that, because we could say that for some years, right? We could say that for some years, right? We could sit in that shit like for years and be like, man, I'm so tired of this shit. I got to do this. And then we still don't do it, right? We could do that for years and years and years. But then it's like the action is there. Spirit is like, how many times have we shown you? How many times have we taken you to where you need? How many times have we brought the people that you need in your life, but you still choose not to do shit? So that is where you have to say, where am I being pulled right now? What do I think? Where can I really get assistance, or what can I do? Well, sometimes that calls for sessions. That sometimes it calls for thinking outside the box. Now, I'm not telling no one not to get no professional help, not to go to therapy, not to go to a psychiatrist or anything like that, because I think you guys should try that, But if that doesn't help, there's a lot of medical, physical ways of changing, implementing your life. Okay. Exactly, Trina. And I was like that with a lot of feelings of just despair in my heart. And I just couldn't stay like that no more. I had to change. I just couldn't live like that no more. So, Angie, let's see. First steps are just looking into other ways to heal. Of course, if you guys want the information to the quantum healing, the theta state healing, any of the healers that I've personally worked with, definitely get in my inbox and I can give you their name, their links, and all of that stuff. Right. And that's what I did. I decided to look for other ways to assist and heal and release. And that led me on this whole spiritual path. And I'm thankful for that. All right, Angie, let's see what we got for you. Okay. Debbie, I think I've referred Debbie to Theta Healing with Nicole, and she's a beautiful healer. Really, really, really good at what she does. She's been doing it for years. And like I said, not everyone can do theta state healing because it does require you to do some schooling behind it to learn the techniques to how to help someone go through the, the self-hypnosis process. But it's amazing, and it's released. You release so much of that shit. It's crazy. But definitely get in my inbox. I can give you her information. Just let her know that I referred you. And I have spent thousands. I have spent over, it's been thousands on my healing. I don't think there's a price tag on healing and getting to a better state of mind. You know what I mean? I think we all have to switch the way that we see healing, and where we won't spend that money for healing, but we'll spend that money on other things. You know what I mean? And I'm always trying to get people to understand that if you can take $600, $700, drop it on your car to make sure that your car is running, why would you not do that for your soul? And I'm not saying all the sessions are $600, because they're not, but some of the sessions are in the 100 range. But why would you not feel that you are that important, the same importance of your car? You know what I mean? We will drop couple hundred on some shit, but we won't do it for our soul. We won't do it for our healing. We won't do it to release the shit that has us trapped. That's where I kind of don't understand anymore. Because I have spent in this past 2 years alone a couple $1,000s on getting to where I am today. And I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't change that for anything because the investment is everything. Exactly, D. The investment is everything. There's no price tag on happiness, like real, true, authentic happiness. I'm not talking about that bullshit happiness that we knew before. Because when you start changing, when you really start changing, you start to see that what you thought was happiness, oh, that was a facade. That was an illusion. You were living in this illusion every day, right? And you're like, oh shit, what the fuck did I think happiness was, right? So when you really start to get in that happy place, oh, there's no going back. Like when you really get the taste of real happiness, Trina, real happiness, ain't no going back. There's no going back to what was. There's only moving forward. But that requires you to get outside the box and do some shit that you've never done before. Try some shit that you've never tried before. And the thing about it is, we come from, and I'll say we, because I come from the ghetto. You guys, I talk about it all the time. I come from the hood, I come from the ghetto, and we are not taught this. We are not taught the meditative style practice. We're not even taught that that's a thing. Shit, mental health is not even fucking practice in some of the families. You shut it down and you keep going, right? We didn't even talk about mental health. It was just, it is what it is. That motherfucker's crazy. Okay. Like that's what it is. So I think, unfortunately, one of my duties in this life is to get to where I branch out and I am here to teach and to show that the meditative or the metaphysical ways, holistic healing is a thing. It's worth it. It's getting back to our roots where our people did this shit for centuries until it was beaten and taken away from them. So this is one of the things that I am here to kind of teach and promote, because it's true, it's there, and it's available for us. And if you could drop a couple hundred on some shoes, if you could spend $100 on some fucking shoes, you could spend $100 on your healing. And that's just no judgment, you guys. That's just being real, okay? Think about it. Think about it. I don't spend $100 on the shoes, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Every time I see a price tag like that, I'm like, are these shoes worth it? Are they really worth $100? I don't know. I think the most I've spent on some shoes, I think, has been like 80 something dollars. I'm really cheap, you guys. I'm one of those people that I'm cheap. I am. I'm like, is this really worth this money? Probably not. Nope, not buying it. One of the things you guys know watching me, I always talk about stuff. So you're gonna learn from me just on the lives, right? Now, of course, I can't sit and do a bunch of free classes. I can't, when I get to the day that I can, oh man, I'm going to be having classes free left and right. But one of the things is that you just have to start to think outside the box, get out of what we knew, right? Because what we know, it didn't work for our parents. It didn't work for our parents' parents. It hasn't worked for our generations at all. I come from, 70s, 80s babies. There's a lot of people that were fucked up from that time. Okay. Crack was a thing in the 80s. So unfortunately, a lot of shit went down in the 80s. AIDS was a thing in the 80s, One of the things about finances, you know what I mean, is investing. I'm gonna, tomorrow morning we can talk about investments on the morning show. I'll use tomorrow because we're already an hour in. Tomorrow morning we'll talk about investments, because one of the things that I've been getting into is far as empowering myself to get more mindful about where's my money going. And I'll just say this. One of the things I started about 2 years ago was I started asking myself, do I need this? If I don't fucking need it, why am I buying it? Like truly, true shit. Like, do I need this right now? Because a lot of times we have money and we're just like, well, I have money, I'm going to spend it, right? But you got to ask yourself, do I truly need this? You know, and I try to support everyone that I can. But like I tell people, I don't shop like that. I don't buy shit all the time. I'm not purchasing shit all the time just to be buying it. You know, like I have switch. So we'll talk about that tomorrow morning, and I'll tell you guys some tips about some of the business decisions that I've made over the past couple of years that have helped me, that have got me to where I am. And of course, I'm not exactly my goal of where I'm at. I'm not there yet, but I'm very successful at what I've been doing. So I do got some tips and tricks for you guys talking about finances and investing. If you want to get into trading stocks and stuff, oh, get in my inbox. I can send you to my daughter, and she's more into it than I am. But it's something that we are definitely getting our mind right as far as investing and money and things like that of the